Yo, what's up, YouTube? How you doing? It is Mike Ruiz. It is June 12th, 2010, and I'm making a video right now on the oil spill out in the Gulf of Mexico. Basically, I've been doing a lot of research, been talking to some people, and reading a lot of articles, and I've come to the conclusion that the media, BP, and our government are not telling us the whole truth and may in fact be hiding information from us. So hopefully I can put this out there and some people can find it helpful. I believe that a lot of the general public doesn't understand just how bad this is. Maybe like a 9/11 or a Katrina, this is a disaster that occurred, but yet we will survive and humanity will prosper and life will continue to go on as we have known it to. But it might be one of those events that change or alter the course of our existence and our history. So based on the information that I've seen, I've come basically down to that conclusion. I'm in Miami, Florida. I'm not exactly at ground zero, but I very well could be pretty soon. One of the first things I want to talk about is how our media as well as our government are very slow to pick up on things. For instance, I was watching the Keith Olbermann show the other day, and Keith mentioned that there's a possible doomsday scenario playing out, that there's a potential second leak, and that Senator Nelson from Florida is in Congress right now talking about it. He also mentioned that this is new news. However, it's not new news. On the Dylan Ratigan show about 2 weeks prior to that, right before they were doing Top Kill, Dylan Ratigan had Matt Simmons. Matt Simmons is an oil and energy expert, and basically he was saying that the amount of oil out in the Gulf of Mexico is not proportionate to the leak that BP is showing you on the TV screen, that there has to be a second or even third leak somewhere out there. And what he was saying, it is most likely underneath the sand, somewhere through the pipeline and in the well. So it's coming from underneath the sand and seeping into our ocean. For those of you that are thinking that this is going to be a quick fix and that it soon will be over, it doesn't look like that. It looks like there's multiple leaks, so it might be a while before this gets fixed. Also, it just shows that who our government is really listening to. Instead of listening to experts who are correctly coming out with the information, they're listening to BP, a private corporation, who most likely won't face any criminal charges based on the decisions they make on fixing the well, and most likely are not making the decisions that are in the general interest of the public, but yet the interest of the corporation, shareholders, executives, and so on. So just wanted to put that out there. Alright, so the question arises, what exactly did we drill into? And when will the oil stop? Well, according to this Financial Sense editorial, it's written by William Engdahl, and basically he talked to some guy named Vladimir Kucherov, and he's a professor at the Royal Institute of Technology in Sweden and the Russian State University of Oil and Gas. And he is saying that what BP drilled into is what we call a migration channel, a deep fault on which hydrocarbons generated in the depths of our planet migrate to the crust and are accumulated in rocks, something like Ghawar in Saudi Arabia. And Ghawar, the world's most prolific oil field, has been producing millions of barrels of oil daily for almost 70 years with no end in sight. So yeah, basically we just popped a hole into a shitload of oil with no end in sight, and we don't know how to close the thing. And that's according to this article right here. Alright, y'all, real quick, I want to talk about government numbers. The government just revised the initial flow rate of the oil leaking from BP spill. They said it's now 20,000 to 40,000 barrels a day. I'm not like an expert on math or physics or anything like that, but it didn't take me long to figure out that that's probably not correct. I did the numbers myself, and initially I think that might have been right, that 20,000 to 40,000 might have been right initially, but after they done messed with it and attempted to do some plugging up and sawing and stuff like that, they increased the flow rate, and my numbers now got about 100,000 barrels a day. Now I did some research out there, and there's a scientist in Santa Barbara, California, at the University of California. His name is Ira Leifer, and he himself says that it may be about 100,000 barrels a day spewing out into the ocean, and 100,000 barrels a day is what BP called its worst case scenario. And Ira Leifer is also a member of the government's flow rate technical group, so he does have some credentials. And it's not only that's only one source that I've gotten these numbers. There's multiple sources out there saying that it may be 70 to 100,000 barrels a day leaking into the Gulf of Mexico, not the 20 to 40,000 that our government and BP is saying. All right, so basically I want to talk about the most scariest thing I've come across, and that is the information about the dispersant used to clean up the oil. The dispersant used is called Corexit 9500, and it's about 4 times more toxic than the actual oil itself, and that's according to the acute aquatic toxicity of 3 Corexit products. The oil is toxic at about 11 parts per million, and the Corexit is toxic at about 2.61 parts per million. So we are using one toxic chemical to clean up another toxic chemical, but the toxic chemical we're using to clean it up with is 4 times more. I don't understand the logic. I'm sorry, I don't know. Now it gets better. I mean, when combined, the oil and the Corexit 9500, it's about 11 times more toxic than just the oil itself, and that's according to this European Union Times article. And they're saying that this is all in a report produced for the president of Russia, President Medvedev, and the report warns that the U.S. can face total destruction. Actually, the North American continent can face total destruction because of the chemical used to clean up the oil. Now, the Environmental Protection Agency has asked BP not to use it, and they are still asking BP not to use it, but BP has refused. So basically, they are still pumping this into our ocean or our Gulf. According to BP's latest update on the oil spill cleanup, so far they have pumped about over 1 million gallons into our Gulf. So it doesn't look good. All right, now here's the craziest thing. I saved it for the last part. This chemical right here, right, Corexit 9500. Well, Corexit 9500 in warm waters can ionize. The molecules can ionize, and what that will allow is for the phase transition from a liquid to a gaseous state, therefore being able to be absorbed by our atmosphere and in our clouds, and literally rain down toxic chemicals all over the eastern half of the United States. And this report also mentions that there could be toxic hurricanes, and I just can't even imagine that, or what that would look like. Plant and vegetation life would probably die out. Animals would go next. I don't know what that would do to human beings, but yes, Corexit 9500 is toxic to human beings as well. And I don't really know what's gonna happen, but I don't think I need to stay here in Miami. Matter of fact, after reading all of this stuff, I'm just gonna show y'all the loop current real quick for those that think that the oil is not gonna reach down here to the United States. I mean, to the bottom half of the United States. If you look at the loop current, it takes about day 90 till it gets down here, and then it kind of just goes up the eastern half of the United States and out into the Atlantic. So this is probably going to be a worldwide thing. You know, we're also connected globally, that this can't just affect one part. I think all nations will be affected by this, and it doesn't look like we're going to be able to stop this anytime soon. So I don't know, man. Scary shit. So I don't know. Take it easy, y'all. See y'all in hell. Peace.